Introduction to the Floating Order Book. The Floating Order Book is a widget that displays all of the individual orders for a specific instrument at a specific price level. You can launch a floating order book from MD and MarketGrid. After launching a floating order book, you can modify or delete individual orders. Launching a floating order book from MD To launch a floating order book, middle-click a working order cell in MD Launching a floating order book from MarketGrid. You can launch a floating order book for your working orders at any price level by clicking the working buys or working sells quantity. Here's a demonstration for the mini NASDAQ by middle mouse click. If a collapsed instrument has working orders at multiple price levels for an instrument, you can launch a floating order book by clicking the working buys or working sells quantity. The floating order book shows orders at all price levels for the instrument as shown. So in this example, you can see that there are 3 working orders at different price levels. So once you apply the floating order book, you'll be able to see different working orders at different prices for the same instrument. Changing the price or quantity of an order. Keep in mind, if you make a change in the floating order book, the order is resubmitted. To make a change to an order using the floating order book, in the working order cell, click the middle mouse button to open the order floating book. In the working order cell, you will then see the floating order book populate with the working orders visible, and in the desired price or quantity fields, change the values using any of the following methods. You can either right-click or left-click to increase or decrease the value respectively. You can also use the middle mouse button to scroll the values up and down. You can also use your up and down keys on your keyboard, or simply type in the specific values of choice. After you finish changing the desired fields, click the green check button to complete the change. And now your order has been resubmitted and the modifications have been applied. Deleting an order. To delete an order, hover over the desired working order and click the red trash can icon. Now the order is canceled. Sorting orders in the floating order book. You can sort the list of orders based on the values in the time, work quantity, price, trigger price, and the current user columns. To change the sorting order in the floating order book, simply click on the desired column to toggle between increasing and decreasing values. Keep in mind, by default, the orders are sorted in descending order in the time column. So here's an example. If I were to click here in the time column, you can see how it's being sorted, as well as trigger price. Sorting orders based on users who share an order book. If you share an order book with other traders, you can use the current user column to see who last updated each order in the floating order book. You can sort on the column to group the orders by user. So in this case here, I only have one current user, but perhaps if there's other users that are attached to this particular account, you can basically sort by clicking the current user column to group the users together to see the last updated modifications to the current floating order book. Floating order book columns. The cancel column will delete a single line order. The contract column represents the specific instrument for which all market data applies. The work quantity column is the total order quantity. The send column will be represented by a green check button that will appear when a change is made to the order quantity or price, as shown. The price column is the price of the order or fill. Trigger price, price at which to enter an order, which is only shown when an order has an associated trigger price, such as a TT stop or a TT if touched order. TIF, also known as time in force. The account column, which represents the account number associated with the transaction. Type column, which is type of order associated with this transaction, example, limit, or market. The time column, which is the workstation time the order or action was sent. In a shared order book, if users are in a different time zone, the time field will display in the local time of the initiated workstation. It will not convert to the workstation times for users in other time zones. For synthetic and algo orders, the time field displays the local time based on where the algo server is located. Current user column is TT username of the trader associated with the transaction. This is specific for users who share an order book. This column allows you to determine which user submitted each order. You can also sort the orders by this column.